Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer, where we are dealing with the question of buying of land. But specifically, this episode deals with buying of apartments. Have you seen all over people buying, people building gorovas? You have seen the affordable housing, 4, 5, 10 floors up. You've seen all of them in Nairobi. You've seen them in Kisumu. You've seen everywhere. Apartments are being sold. How do you get the title deed? The question that is there, those ones who know stories are Abunwasi. Abunwasi aliambia mtu nunua nyumba, ule akanunua kwa ghorofa. Then Abunwasi akamwambia, you either buy this one at 10 times the price, ama we shikilia yako juu, me I'm pulling mine from down. The man had to buy. So the question is, the affordable houses President William Ruto is building, the many flats and apartments that are being built, the gated community with apartments, how do you own one of the apartments? Court Helicopter has delved and found out the law that deals with this. It's called the Sectional Properties Act. The Sectional Properties Act that came into force in the year 2020. The President assented the Sectional Properties Act 2020. Let me explain what the Sectional Properties Act talks about. It is a law that is enabling people to buy a property not on the ground. It says, an act of parliament to provide for the division of buildings into units to be owned by individual proprietors and common property to be owned by proprietors of the units as tenants in common, and to provide for the use and management of these units and common property and for connected purposes. This is an act that has turned buildings into land. Originally, land was on the ground. But now the buildings, as they go up, they have been turned into land. So the buildings are going to be divided and title deeds issued. In those buildings, there will be very many owners. So the building will be divided into several title deeds, and each owner of each building, each owner of each apartment will have a title deed. Then in that Sectional Properties Act, it says there will be some common areas. Common areas are the stairs, are the lifts, are the playing grounds, are the car park, all those things. They are called common areas. How do you deal with this common area? We know very well, you go to those estates in Kayole, in Madare, in all over, people, waiters, not waiters, house girls and wives and are fighting over water. How will you deal with that? The answer is simple. The Sectional Properties Act that came into force in 2020, amended in 2021, provides for the following as the law on those areas. It provides that in getting to know this, the first thing that you need to do is that the building, once it has been built, it has apartments that are distinct. A surveyor must make a design, must put boundaries through a method called it's a very interesting matter. They will use their technology to develop that land. It is management georeferencing. a surveyor will have to georeference that beacon there, that there, that here, that here. That design, the structure of that design will be taken to the lands registrar. So if the apartments are 50, there will be georeferenced maps of 50 buildings, 50 apartments, and those 50 apartments each will be issued with a title deed. Those georeferenced maps will be registered. Remember, when Court Helicopter taught you, land is divided by mutations. Buildings are divided by georeferencing maps. Then, after they have been taken to the registrar will prepare in section 4 to register those maps. After they have been registered, each title deed, each apartment will have a title deed. That title deed, you can take it to the bank, you can charge it, you can sell to another person, you can lease to another person, you can take it to court, and you stand for it as a surety. So the title deed that one gets under the Land Act, Cap 300, is similar to the title deed one gets under the Sectional Properties Act, because the registration of those is done under the Land Act. So don't fear to buy an apartment. Don't fear to buy a flat. Don't fear to buy a high-rise skyscraper, because the law provides for that. After the sectional properties plan has been registered, there is now 50 owners of a building. The 50 owners, how do they manage the common area? How do they pay for services? Sewage, collection from sewage, water. The law demands that a corporation or a company is made by the owners. Remember, the seller, the Chinese, is leaving. The owners form a management company called a corporation, where only those who have bought those properties form the ownership of that company. That company will elect officials through their general meetings. They will have their bylaws. They will make their bylaws. That is the company that will run up. Their properties still in the hands of the developer. The developer, under the law, once he has finished developing the building and he has sold, he must exit and leave the owners to manage that company. I know there are very many disputes where the developers are still insisting they have formed a management company. Today, Court Helicopter has taught you a company that runs sectional properties is a corporation that is owned by the owners of the buildings, not the one who sold you. He must exit and leave the management to run the affairs of that. When we deal with sectional properties, this is the way now we are going. Why do you need to buy land for your son, for your child? Why do you need to buy land in Ukambani and subdivide that land? The land now is going upstairs. The apartment is the way forward. So Wakili Omari has taught you that the Sectional Properties Act now allows one to get a title deed. If you have not been issued with that title deed, then you better follow the person who sold you that land. The Americans, the people in the diaspora, Quadricopter has taught you this. You need to be given a title deed. If it is in Nairobi, you need to be given a lease, a document from the land's registrar showing that you are the owner of that lease. If there are encumbrances, that title deed, that certificate of ownership, that certificate of lease will show that your title deed is charged to the bank and people have taken a loan from it. Wakili Danstan Omari on Quadricopter, bringing you the insight on how you will get a title deed on top, 50 title deeds in one building. Stories za Abunwasi za kuambia shikilia juu, mimi nachukua yangu chini, zimeisha. Today we have the Sectional Properties Act. Keep monitoring our episode. Thank you very much.